Good morning, afternoon, evening. I'm Rhonda Fair from Feed from His Basket. And how are you today? And a very good morning to you. I have some nice lemon. It's actually lemon. It is oranges and grapefruit. And I chop it all up and boil it. If it's a big batch, for about 6 hours. If smaller, just when it goes mushy and falls apart. And then what I do is I take the juice from it. Yeah. So I just boil it nice, get all the germs off it, give it a good boil. Yeah, and I make a nice drink. It's a good detox. It cleanses the body. It actually, cleanses what's inside you. It's almost like, it's like charcoal. You know, when you take charcoal and you have charcoal, I remember when my body got poisoned, and the first thing I grabbed for was charcoal, and I drank it down. So I had powdered charcoal at the time there, and I poured it in some water, and I guzzled it back. And it was the memory back to my daughter's, actually my daughter's first wife. Yes, she taught me on the charcoal. So this here is lemon, oranges, and grapefruit. And then I make this drink and it cleanses me out. Now, then I have to take a break from it for a bit because it says to have a little bit. I love the taste of it, and sometimes I get a little, I overdo it and I drink lots of it. It's one of my favorite drinks, and if it's too strong, what I do is I dilute it with more warmer hot water, and then you can make it weaker, but it's really, really good. So when I come near the end and I haven't had the stuff on me, I'll add more water. It's really, really good. And you won't get that puckering thing where it makes your mouth water. Yeah. Again, do 5 oranges, 5 lemons, 5 grapefruits for a huge batch, or you can make it smaller, whatever you have. Yeah. So you just cut them up. I don't peel them. I just chop them up, and I throw them in a big pot and cook them. Well, healing is very important. Healing. And I'm talking about in foods and mental and physical and psychological and financial, emotional, you name it, sexual, whatever it is, we all need healing. Yeah. So again, I am Rhonda Fair, and I want to note to you all that in utmost kindness and respect is equal in 100%. That's right. And how do I know this? Well, I was created by a creator, and he made us all beautifully and wonderfully made. And each of us were a unique individual. It does not matter if we look like our parents, whatever. You have your own individual look, which makes you so wonderful and beautiful. Yeah. So in the formation of women, actually women, which is amazing. That's where to know equals. To know equals. In verses 21 to 24 in Genesis chapter 2 about affection. Also, you will find out what the ribs mean, and that you are the walls of the foundation of the Godhead, and the husband is supposed to be able to lead you in the right direction in love and not oppress you in no way at all. Yes, you will overcome things together. You will overcome things when things get hard, but you'll be there for each other no matter what. So, I see this a lot. At work, I see men and women come in where their spouses are in a state that you've seen them before when they got hit with something devastating, how they stuck by them. And they're what they go through, and their love, they never stop loving. They never stop loving them. And that's the beautiful part of it. So that again shows equal. That shows the equal. I love it. I love it. I love it. I hope I have the right spot because I was like, So talking about this, healing is very important. To not live in the past, but grow from the past. Well, living from the past and growing from the past. Well, how do you do that, Rhonda? If you say to myself or say to others, how do you do that if a person's always stalking you? It's not easy, is it? But, or they come in and go, you got to forgive, you got to forgive. It's a game, it's a scammer, it's a troublemaker. And that's where you need authorities. That's where you need authorities to step in. So you are a human being, and a human being only can take so much. And a human being should never be torn down, ripped apart, harmed in any way. A human being should be loved and nurtured and cared for. So if you listen to Barbara O'Neill, I'm going to sneeze because I have the fan behind me. Barbara O'Neill, she explains this about the healing. Excuse me, it's about to come. And she talks about what God gives us. In the sunshine, in the use of water, in our sleep, and in our sleep, how healing increases before midnight. So a couple hours before, so go to bed at 9 or 10, and that's where your body does the highest healing. So if someone calls you up and just say you need to rest, unless it's an emergency. Healing does the most between, well, from 9, 10 on to midnight, as she explains. But we need sunshine, use of water, sleep, and trusting in divine power that everything he gives us helps us. Abstain, inhale, allergies, and why is that happening? We gotta get to the source of that. So breathe through your nose and out through your nose. Nutrition, moderation in everything we do, and exercise. I picked myself up an exercise bike. I got to get back on it. Once I started getting my foot healed, because it was hard for me to just touch it. So now that I can do a little bit, I take a little bit of time. When there was too much fluid in the body, and why? Because of damage, it was too hard on my heart. Stuff like that. So I had to get to the source of all of these caused by the scammers and the bad people. So I had to help reverse it. And it's not easy when someone is oppressing you. So in this, if in the tree of knowledge of God, of good and evil, what we choose, right? So here we have to find the cause. We have to find the cause of this. So we have to go through my history and go through your history. Why, where you have the pain, your body speaks to you. God gives you pain for a reason, so it speaks to you where that pain is and what we need to do about it. So first of all, we need to find out from that pain, go back in history from the source of what happened. How did you get those fractures, Rhonda? How did you get that on your knees? How? Where, why, you ask those questions, where, what, why, you know, where, what. You remember when you were in English class and you asked those questions? And that's how you study the Bible too. You study the book. So you got to find the cause, go through the history, and you get the symptoms of your body. You get symptoms. So if it unhealthy condition, what happens? It changes our body, and it needs change to healthy again. So we have wrong habits of what's happened, and we need to correct it. And that is in our nutrition, in our marriages, in raising our children, and school, and work, and not compromising in a bad way, but working things out to make things work in a balance. So you make a balance sheet. That's the same with, meeting someone in relationships. It's utmost important if we want to live a healthy relationship. I don't know how many years we have left. There's young ones that left early. There's old ones that left later. And why people in China or in Japan live longer. In Japan, till they're 100 and more. And what is it they're doing? Where are they getting the source? What are they doing? What are they eating? Who are they surrounding themselves with? What are they learning? In China, they're not allowed to go on media and to play stupid games. And they are stupid. The ones that give them a debased mind, they're not allowed to do that. They have strict rules when it comes to that. Anything that comes through the feed has to be about health as well, growth in science. That's why a lot of them A lot of times you'll see, you say made in China, but a lot of things come in advance because that's what they do. But they also need to breathe and have a break, right? So it's good to be healthy, enjoy, laugh, and live a good life. But we live, we learn, and hopefully we grow. So we need to find the cause of these unhealthy conditions. Why would someone step in and do such things of unhealthy? Or how did we do it? Did we drop something on our foot? Did someone harm the foot? Stuff like that. So you get to the source. Once you get the source, then you can get rid of the problems. So your symptoms, nature is to be assisted in this, and symptoms is the response that gives the relief. So Barbara does not teach not to take drugs because we all need them. I'm going in for surgery and you didn't have something to help kill the pain. It'd be pretty painful, wouldn't it? So she does not say no to that. But what she's saying is you don't need it all the time. There's ways of healing in much better, healthier ways. If I was to go in and have surgery from a fractured foot and it didn't heal properly and they had to fix it, which everybody knows about, and these lumps and stuff, and lipomas and stuff, and were they benign, were they malignant, what was it, and stuff like that in your body or whatever has caused it. Could be some kind of harm, so how do you heal it? And again, you need to have people that have the knowledge and wisdom that are not focused on you, but focused on the source. Okay, so take care of the problems. Drugs do work in the crisis for that. And when you have a broken bone, whatnot, but a heart attack, what is ever happening. So how do we stop all this? Well, drugs do in other conditions we can use, as people will use them in mental behaviors, having a dark heart in history. That's where it came from. In Genesis, it speaks about this, about how we can have healing. And so drugs only mask it. They only mask it. I've had daughters that were very hyper when they were little. Now they're not. I've had daughters where they weren't hyper at all and now are. It's energy. So again, before we start placing any kind of drugs in us, we got to find out what the source is. So, and that there is pretty basic when it comes to understanding children have energy. And if they have low energy, we got to find out why, what's going on with them. It could be some situation they're in. It could be, it could be, as Chase Hughes says, a freeze, flight, or fright of what situation is going on in our life. But why am I in that pain? Or why are you in that pain? So I write down where it hurts. What are the symptoms? Go back in history. What is the source? So you are the doctor of your body to know where your pain is. God gave that to you. So in this, we want to stay away from highly acid foods. And highly acid foods is like sugars, whites. I used to say to my mom, maybe it's a good idea if, I know you've had white bread your entire life, doesn't matter, you're in your 80s, but maybe we could change that color of that bread. And I didn't even know that soya bread was better, and it says so in the Bible. But, because she was eating pure sugar. And what does pure sugar feed? Pure sugar feeds anything that it produces bad in your body. So, and one big one is cancer. Because 1 out of 6 get cancer. So you want to stop feeding it that sugars. And you want to, it's pure sugar, right? So another one is when you first want to do your healing in your body, you want to stay away from meats and sugars. Yeah. So you want to go on to some good healthy drinks and stick to plant-based greens and get your body starve the ugly and feed it into healthy. So you want to starve what's wrong. So I need to starve what's wrong. So in our lives, if someone is causing you problems, you starve them. You starve a narcissist. You starve a psychopath. You starve a sociopath. You starve a sadist. You starve them. You're not going to give them, especially narcissists, you don't want to give them attention. You starve them. And when you starve them, they die. Last night when I was talking to my daughter through the night when she called me, and we were talking, and all of a sudden I see, oh, Montreal is coming up on my phone. Oh, because that's probably where Hervé Poisette is. Montreal. They were at my house when I lived on Rideout. So you want to be careful and see who they're communicating with, because you got to find out the source of what they did, and gaslighting to cause the problems. What was the problems? You want to get to that source to remove the problems. You want to get rid of them. So you want to starve them. So you want to make sure, no matter even if they're, I don't care if they were the biggest, they were actors, performers, or what it is. Anyone who does harm is quite the performer, aren't they? So you want to have a healthy performer. Stay away from that. Again, arthritis in our body. Any kind of arthritis that we have. So a good teaching, I will share her video. Don't open up my apps. Just type it in your Google or in your YouTube. Arthritis does have natural remedies, and you can use the most alkaline diets by using greens. As she talked about, meds and surgery has come a long way in our life. I was told, and you were probably told many times, and others were told, doctors were told, if you didn't have the COVID shots, that you couldn't work. I had two. And I remember everybody battling with me on this, and I struggled for a year. And so they knew they were oppressing us with no money. And then, the COVID money came in. Well, you go to collect it and you end up having to pay it back. It's all a lure. So anyways, it's fishing, catfish. So what I remember, and I remember telling the people in Bible study, I was praying so hard. And I don't know what the word, if you think of the word hard, I was praying so deep. I was praying, God, please, when they stick it in me, please make it, reject it out of my body. That's all I kept thinking about. And because I had run out of money and run out of my savings. And they said, well, we're going to go do it, so you go do it. But they didn't do it. And the thing is, it's not the law to have it. And it didn't say, that it was never investigated that it was healthy for us. So again, that's what I did for two of them. And I wouldn't have any more. So that I had stayed that, but I did have the two. When I flew out for my daughter and my brother and that, I had to show it. So, and so here, when my brother passed, meds and surgery has come a long way in our life. And so I prayed for God. All I could picture was in my mind in action, God taking it and shooting it back out of me. That's all I could think about when it was happening. And I did not, I know, guess people experience some kind of pain from them or whatever. I didn't feel anything. So you want to have an alkaline diet to get your help with your arthritis. So there's a drink that she shared is 80% carrot, 10% celery, and 10% apple. So you want to have an alkaline juice, and I like the dark green juices too. A lot of people are doing it. They do it at schools, whatever. They have the shops. And you can just buy the juices and squeeze them out. Just put them in your blender if you don't have a squeezer, one that squeezes it out. High in lectins is potatoes, eggplants, bell peppers, and tomatoes. Only potato I've been eating is sweet potato. I do have a baked potato here. You want to eat that in moderation, but listen to your body, because your body will let you know if you're fine or not. Okay, so is there burning in our legs? And what is this burning in our legs? It was interesting, so we need to change up things. People go into hot saunas, jump in cold water, go in hot saunas or cold showers, whatever. And I know if I've worked all day and my joints hurt and I put it under hot water, it's like the pain is gone. It like gave it a shock treatment. And so if you you do this for 12 minutes? Is it 12? Three times. So I will show you. So what I do is, she was showing us in the shower. You can do it if you don't have a sauna, or if you're using a tap, you're using part of your body. What you want to do is, so you go hot for 30 seconds, cold for 30 seconds, hot, cold, hot, like that. It did help with my body. It helped with a lot of rapid relief, I'll tell you. So when I was hurting, that's what I would do. So we want to stay away from acid foods, sugars, and meats. So they are high in alkaline. So hot water does stimulate. So you want to do it for 12 minutes. So hot water, it is 12 minutes. So hot water stimulates the blood and increases the nutrients and increases taking away the waste. And then you switch to cold for 30 seconds. Then you switch to hot. And you switch. And this here, it's like, you know what it's like? It's like a shock treatment. It's like, it just gives your body like that. And it's like, wow. You ever do that? You put your, because you work with your hands, and it's like, oh. And then I run under hot water, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave. But it's only going to be a pain relief for 3 minutes or whatever, and you have to switch up again. Or 30 seconds. So it's interesting that also, as she spoke about using poultices, I talk about castor oil from her. I've been rubbing castor oil on me. Just, it's like, oh. I do it for the showers. I do it at nighttime. I don't care if my sheets get all messy. Honestly, I put it on way before I go to bed, and it just goes right into me. It absorbs. And then if I want to go deeper, I add ginger to it. You can make a poultice up with that, with cloth, thin cloth, and fold it and put it in and leave it on. So you can make that and do that with ginger. Ginger is really good for arthritis. I cut the ginger up and I drink it. Hot water and ginger. And it's an anti-inflammatory. So again, to make those juices, the juices from the ginger penetrate in and help with the arthritis in your body. So inflammation will burn. It's interesting because when I had that stuff on me and I had hot water, certain areas on my leg started to burn, and that was it, drawing it out. So use a castor oil compress, and ginger oil penetrates, and it does give a deep relief. Turmeric, you can buy turmeric or the capsules, take it, the powder. It is a great anti-inflammatory. My stomach can't use high doses of turmeric right now, but I worked my way up, and it's a great anti-inflammatory. Actually, I was given a very high dose, too powerful, at a health store, and it burned. I had too much. So my body's saying, hey, you had too much. So we want to have this kind of compresses on us. So cayenne pepper is another. So all these little things that can help us and get rid of autoimmune disease, arthritis. Oh yes, there is lots. So in this, I will have gone down looking for my little part. I mean, I have little notes in here. Oh, criminals equals serpents. Yeah. Because serpents is general. It's had natural subtlety beyond other creatures. Be wise as serpents. But this one had an extraordinary measure of it about a fallen angel. And he's a sneaky little bugger. He's a sneaky little critter. Yeah, he is. So, there was one little spot I was going to read to you. But if it does not come here. Oh, here. I think this is right in the reflection. Okay. I was going through. Just give me a moment. But in Genesis, I want, if you take a look, I just wrote them down what she was talking about. If you go into in Genesis when I talked about the man and the woman, but if you go in what the Lord has said, right, in Genesis, oh, here we go. I think it's in Genesis 23, and it's in Genesis 3. I was writing it down, and it explains about how, I like it. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's a good thing we have them, you know. Good thing we have them out there for emergencies. But since I don't have it right there, I will go to it. Genesis 23. Actually, I was like, oh, look at these numeral numbers and how you get to learn them so quickly. So, in Genesis 23, 24, here we go. Actually, Genesis 23, 24, it actually, if you go into Daniel and Galatians and Corinthians and Romans, it speaks about this. But concubines were women of a middle condition, between wives and harlots, a kind of half-wives sharing in bed and board, but not in the government of the family. Interesting. What is a concubine? You don't want to do adultery. Okay. They served under lawful wives if alive. You know, a lot of them use them replaced to have children for them and stuff like that. So reflect, how necessary to count on the cost when we enter upon a new religion in our life. For who knows how greater our trials it may be, since trials are increased in proportion to men's faith and spiritual face of natural affection, not destruction. An outward honor and pleasure, by threatened trials, are hardly quiesce in the will of God, and firmly cleave to his promise, who though he slay them, yet you will still trust in him. And that's what Barbara was talking about in his divine power, what he gives us, to trust in what he gives us, because we can't see it, but then there's the end results. For often, when the nights of trials are the very darkest, the Lord steps in, cometh in about the songs of deliverance, and blessed with spiritual blessings in Christ Jesus. So, while I admire the faith and obedience of Abraham and the cheerful submission of Isaac, when I place these bright examples before me, my faith directs me more glorious objects. So, if the Lord said in Genesis that he gave us all this, then didn't he not? So I got some aloe vera plants now. They were like $4 and something at Giant Tiger. And so I cut open a plant and then I ate back the jelly from it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little slimy. It's a little slimy, but you know what? It soothed my throat. Yeah, it soothed my throat. It made me feel better. Okay. So, about in our life and in multitudes of sorrows and pains, conception, bearing, and bringing up our children to a further degree of subjection to her husband, and overlooked and playing with the serpent as her instructor. And that's why we got to know what the source is to get rid of the problems. And that's in marriages, that's in any relationship, that is in what we eat, in what we do in our lives. So here, I couldn't find, remember where that one spot I had read because I didn't mark it, but this is well to do here. Whom, if she is subjecting her, whom she had overlooked, and who was her instructor. So I told my daughter, well, before I'm going to have someone, I was telling her last night, I want to observe him. So what direction? How much knowledge has he got? How much wisdom has he got? Which way is he going to lead me? Is he going to be like people is telling me they're going to teach me lessons and harm me, or they're going to be there to build me up? Right? Are they a phony baloney or not? Who are we inhaling? Right? So to punish Adam and proprietors of the whole ground was cursed with respect to its soil and product, the whole lower world, before it defiled under its inhabitants, and was devoured, cursed, and subjected to the bondage of corruption. So he gave us this opportunity to have our lives changed. And that's the thing. I told her, I says, whatever you do is between God and you. It's not my business. But if you're willing to feel relaxed and comfortable to talk to me about anything, I'm here. And I've always been like that. So again, I can't force the, on anyone. But if they ask me questions, I can give them the answers. Okay. So always be honest, and be truthful. I will not lie for anyone. I unless they're in danger, and there is a predator, let's say outside my door trying to get in, you're darn tootin' I'm going to. Okay? I don't think God's gonna mind. So you don't have to struggle over that. But the thing is, you shouldn't have to live like that. You shouldn't have to. But some people are so dark inside, they'll do anything. And they do setups. And they want to teach people lessons their way. And they really mess up. And they're angry. And they're hurting inside. And when I talked about the foods and the nutrients, the vegetables and that for our body, that's the kind of people we need in our life. Is good nutrients to eat. And if we can't have that, stay away from it. Stay away from it. And when I speak truth to somebody, if they don't like it and if they run, they're probably part of it. So again, it's people's actions that speak. People will come up with lies to try and protect themselves. But sooner or later, lies come out of the darkness into the light. So when scammers come in and they lie and they cause problems, they're just administration of death. And they're not for you. So again, I hope all these resources that I've learned that I can share with you that can help with arthritis. But your body's speaking to you and it's telling you where it hurts to stop. If your work is hurting you too much, get a different job. Whatever it is, it's not always that easy. But you're not, you're there to help build another one up, not tear one down and make excuses. Our children matter. They are our future. They are our future. And, to help them out the best way you can. That's what's important in our life. And who we're going to be with. I was asked that question. Little questions about a little boy I adored with his granddaddy. And I hope he's doing well. The thing is, you want to help build them up, not oppress and tear them down. Because we are not gods. There's only one creator. We are not gods. One creator. And we start putting ourselves in a position to be gods and start controlling people and deciding what we're going to do with them, controlling their money, controlling this, controlling that. You have become your own gods and you have become a criminal. Again, you need a safe space and to mind your own business. Sleep off your own front doorstep before you start going around scoffing up everybody else's. And when the Lord says, hey, on that tree, He's taken all your sins, that's it. You throw them away. You know why? Because you're not going to do them again. Because the more you hear, the more you change. The more you study, the more you change. And He fills you, and He knows how much you can handle in everything you do. Again, we're not gods. And we start taking that position and harming people and teaching people lessons out of lies, we put ourselves in a bad spot. We don't humble people. We don't control people. We don't do any of that. We live already in a jail. There is this Russian mafia, the Graham, and he's always talking about being honorable with God and be honorable. And he explained this world as we're in this prison, in this world, and it's up to us to choose whether we want to be free or not, and what direction, because there's always someone oppressing somebody, always a group or organization or someone oppressing. But it's up to us, he says, to get the knowledge and wisdom to grow from that and be free from that. And I've shared a few of his videos. You know, I talked to him online, and it went through, not online, but on his YouTube about what I think about love is like from the Bible. And that's what he's talking about when he talks about the chess game. And how they, you know, what each member in the chess game means and how people use people and oppress them. So again, just to know, there's people out there that are going to give us the knowledge and the wisdom to grow. Warren Buffett talks about that. He's talks about, you know, what the Lord says and when Judgment Day comes. And, you know, you can't take your money with you. And what you do with it and how you invest and how you grow and how you can help others. And if you know someone is really doing their best and they're, you know, be there for them. So again, just people that have that knowledge and wisdom. No one is better than the other, but some have more knowledge and wisdom than the other to help another one out. So if we continue to gaslight and cause harm, because there's many stories I could tell you about what my mom has told me or my uncle has told me. But what matters is the truth. The truth will set you free. So I hope this will help you in a healthy way today. And happy Labor Day, and tomorrow school starts, so I hope you take that on the right path. And God bless. Oops.